Hey Braden. Today we're going to be reading in 1 Chronicles chapter 13 verses 9 and 10. And this is when David has rejoined the whole nation of Israel. After Saul was killed, the nation of Israel split into two different groups, and there was Israel and then there was Judah. And David was the king over Judah, and one of Saul's sons was the king over Israel. Well, Saul's son was killed, and Judah and Israel decided that they wanted to come back together under David as their king. So he's brought the nation back together. He's moved the capital of the country, or of the nation of Israel, to Jerusalem, which is where the rightful capital was. And everything is going really good, and David decides that he wants to go send his people to get the Ark of the Covenant. I don't know if we talked about it or not, but the Ark had been stolen by the Philistines, and the Philistines were cursed while they had it, so they sent it back to Israel. And this was when Saul was king, but they didn't know what to do with it. They were afraid of the Ark. They didn't know what to do with it, and so they just had it shoved off in a barn somewhere. Well, David determined that now that that the nation was reconciled and that they were moved back to Jerusalem, that it was time to bring the Ark back. So he sent a group of people down, and he was with them to go get the Ark, and they were having a parade. And they put the Ark on a cart, and it was pulled by some oxen. And they were having a parade, and they had horns and singing and all this kind of thing, and it was a really big deal. And they were walking along, and one of the ox stumbled, and he tripped, and that caused the cart to tilt a little bit, and the Ark started to fall. Well, one of the men, Uzzah, reached out to steady the cart, to steady the Ark so that it wouldn't fall on the ground, and he touched the Ark. And right then, God killed him. So I'm going to read that part. Chapter 13, verse 9 and 10 of 1 Chronicles. Uzzah put forth his hand to hold the Ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and he smote him, because he put his hand to the Ark. And there he died before God. And David was very angry at God for letting this happen, for God killing Uzzah. He didn't understand why this had happened. And I was the same way when I read this. I didn't understand why, when all Uzzah was doing was trying to keep the Ark from falling. He wasn't being disrespectful. He didn't think he was. He didn't seem to be. And they were trying to do the right thing by bringing the Ark back into the capital city. So I prayed about it, and I asked God, why did you kill Uzzah? And there could have been many reasons. Maybe Uzzah didn't know the law, because the law said no one can touch the Ark. There were certain people and certain ways that you could handle the Ark, and you were not supposed to just reach out and touch it with your hand. So maybe he should have studied the law before he went to do something so important. Or maybe he just wasn't paying attention and giving God the respect, or the Ark of the Covenant the respect that he should have. And so maybe that was it. We don't know for sure, but here's one thing we do know, and this is what the Lord told me about today, is that Uzzah got what the law said he deserved. The law was very clear, and I should have gone back and looked it up, but I didn't. But in Leviticus is where God talks about the laws and how to handle the Ark, and the law was very clear about how to do it. And if you disobeyed the law, then you died. So he got exactly what the law said he deserved. Whether we like it or not, whether we think it's fair or not, whether we think it's nice or not, that's what he got. Well, that should make us so thankful for what Jesus did for us. Because if it wasn't for his sacrifice, then we would still be bound by that law, and we would still have to accept the punishment of that law. And some of the things that we do might cause might be cause for death or other punishment. But because Jesus died, because of his sacrifice, we don't have to answer to the law in that way. He answered for us. And so that's one of the reasons that the Bible tells us this story about Uzzah, is because even way back then, God knew his plan, and he knew that he wanted to show that he was serious, that he deserved honor, but that he was going to make a way for us to be close to him. And so it was a way to show the difference and the importance of being under the law instead of being under the grace of Jesus. So that's why that's in the Bible. Hope you enjoyed that.